welcome to Garden Diaries 2022 edition! Yeah! So what I've been up to, I basically cleared the garden of all like fallen branches, some like autumn leaves, like basically all the trash lying around. There were like huge winds, so not only things in my garden were like flying around, but also like from the neighbors, from who knows where, things were just flying, so I had to clear that up. So I basically did like spring cleanup in the garden, got rid of some plants, got rid of like this 1-year plants that just died and the leaves were left, and I still have a lot of cleanup to do, but I also wanted to do something for fun, so I planted a lot of flowers. It's basically like one kind, because it's the very beginning of the season, nothing else blooms now. So these, as you can see, they really need to be replanted. Really need. But I think this one will be in the house inside. I will just plant it in the repot it to something bigger. And I also have a blue one that I really like, but I think it would feel better outside. So I planted them, the flowers, yesterday, and then it was -2 degrees outside at night, and I was like, oh no, I bought beautiful flowers and they're all gonna die, but they didn't. Also, my geraniums survived during the winter. I put them in the garage and I basically didn't touch them for months. So they're just there. I watered them like once in December, and it's almost April now, and they are alive. So that's amazing. That's like, I don't really like the smell of them, but the look of them, that they are like so big and luscious, I can get behind. So there's gonna be geraniums when they start to bloom. Honestly, I don't really know when they start to bloom, so we're gonna figure that out. But I have some other flowers now, so the garden looks a little bit more alive. By the way, I already planted some tomatoes and raspberries at the beginning of the month, and it was going so well. They sprouted, they were growing, they were strong and everything, but I fell ill and I had like very high fever. So like those 2 days that I was just sweating in bed, and I just didn't have it in my head that, oh, I have to water my plants. Like my whole body was like, survive, and not plants are dying. So they all died. Every single one of them. In those 2 days I didn't water them. So that's very sad. But I have some more seeds. Raspberries and tomatoes. We're gonna plant them again. They're gonna grow. They are gonna grow. They don't have any other choice. And like, fingers crossed it will go well. I also got some better soil to plant them into, because like the soil in my garden is more like sand type. So even when I was doing the big greenhouse, I had to like dig the ground, get it out and put some other dirt in, and the big greenhouse was such a mess after season. Like all those dead big tomato plants. It took me so long to clear it out. The big greenhouse is waiting to be like made to put the foil on again. The small greenhouse is here, and I put stuff inside there, but from what the thermometer inside showed, there wasn't much difference between like outside temperature and inside temperature in this little greenhouse. So it doesn't really do much yet. It probably will in April, because the sun is shining. It's much better weather right now. So big hopes, a lot to do. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is plant some raspberries, and I have 2 different kinds. I think I had this one before, and it sprouted well and grew well until it died. So we're gonna try both of them and see which one grows better. as you can see, it got quite chilly in the shadow. It's super warm in the sun. It's amazing, lovely weather in the shadow. It's still winter. But hey, anyway, I didn't show you, but I got this. So when I do some gardening and I don't have to like squat on the ground, I can just like kneel and do stuff, and it's so much more comfortable. And when I was little, my parents had something like that but blue at the allotment, and I was always like, oh, why do you need it? You can just squat. And now when I am older I can appreciate things like that, because when you like squat for 10 minutes it's perfectly fine, but when you are doing something for longer, like you're doing something in one place in the garden, then you go to another place, and when you squat for the whole day, it's terrible. So I got something like this. It was like dirt cheap, and it helps so much. It's soft, you can sit on it, you can kneel on it, you can do whatever you like on it. So raspberries, then tomatoes, and better soil, because I planted raspberries in the end in the more sandy ground, because I've read that they like it, and last time they sprouted well. So all those seeds, apparently they are for amateurs. So we'll see how it goes. I really hope tomatoes go well, because last year I had like a whole army and I gave them away to like neighbors, my parents-in-law, everyone. Like the whole neighborhood had my tomatoes, and this year I killed the first batch. I am so sorry, I'm talking so much today, I just can't shut up. So that's all of it planted. Here, as you can see, is my pepper experiment. So pepper is growing here, and I had to evict the raspberries from the little greenhouse because there was just no space. And I'm thinking of getting another one of those little greenhouses, but I am not sure. We'll see. So all the tomatoes, one kind, other kind, peppers, and raspberries. And we'll see how it goes. I don't know, honestly. It might sprout, it might not. I don't know. The soil I planted the tomatoes in is already mixed with fertilizer, so that should help. And we'll see. I also want to plant some flowers. I want to plant basil, because basil last year was such a great success. So I'm gonna do that. Fingers crossed, next time I will be able to show you the little tomato sprouts. Also, I moved the pots from the veggie garden that was like in the back in the shadow. I moved them to the sunlight, and I don't really like them there in terms of working on them, but there's way more sunlight next to the greenhouse, so I moved them. Hopefully something grows there. My goals for this year, cucumber again, because last year I was so surprised it grew so well, and pumpkin. I need my own little pumpkin patch. It would be so cute, and I really want it to happen. So yeah, that's basically gonna be it for today's garden diaries. So it's basically a little bit of catch up, a little bit of planting, sowing, I mean, a little bit of me going, oh no, everything is going wrong and I don't know what's gonna happen. And yeah, I'll see you next time. I'll see you with my little sprouts, hopefully. And yeah, have a nice day. Bye bye.